Continuing coverage of Ball State basketball here on Ball State All Access and BallStateSports.com. Joel Cadet, glad to have you back with us. We're joined by one of the new Ball State men's basketball assistants, Jason Grunkemeyer, and I say new tentatively because I'm sure for you guys it feels like it's been an eternity already. A lot of work to get done, and I'm sure you guys have hit the ground running.
Yeah, we've been getting after it the last few weeks. There's just a lot going on in terms of finishing out recruiting for this year, as well as getting ready for recruiting of the class of 2014, since we've got 5 seniors in next year's class. And then, of course, the most important thing for us has been trying to get familiar with our current roster and get to know those guys and start workouts. So yeah, we've been pretty busy so far.
Tell me your history with the Cardinals. Obviously, being a Mid-American Conference coach, being a Mid-American Conference player, you've been to Worthen Arena a lot. You've played Ball State a lot in a couple of different capacities. Your biggest familiarities with this program, be it games you played in, games you coached, won, lost, players you saw. What sticks in your mind about Ball State?
Yeah, I've got some really good memories of playing Ball State, but also a couple of bad ones. As a player, I remember having some great games at Miami. I remember a double overtime game that we were able to win at Miami, and I also remember a time when Dwayne Clements hit a half-court shot here to beat us. And then, of course, in 2000, last time the Cardinals were in the tournament, unfortunately, we were on the losing side of the MAC championship game. So
I heard you played well that game, though.
Well, yeah, I had a pretty good game. I had some good games against the Cardinals. So, and then obviously as a coach, at Miami the last several years, going up against them. But yeah, some good memories and some good battles that we've had.
Your relationship with James Whitford obviously stems back to those days at Miami as well. Talk to me about how your relationship has grown. I guess he was kind of the opening door to your college career because he recruited you, right?
Yeah, James had just gotten hired as a full-time assistant the year before at Miami, and I actually transferred to Miami from Ohio University back when you were able to transfer within the league. And so when I was looking to transfer from OU, James was kind of the assistant point of contact for me, and that was, gosh, back in 1997. And so we go back quite a ways, so we've got a lot of familiarity just from those days.
When he called you and said, "Ball State, how's it sound?" What was your reaction?
Yeah, I was really excited. I mean, for 2 reasons. One, because, like I said, having been a player and a coach in this league, I got to see what Worthen Arena was like, and the fan base in Muncie I always thought was terrific, and so that part of it was exciting. And then the second part was, being with somebody, working for somebody like James, who I've known a long time, who I just know who he is as a human being, and he's a top-notch guy, and I wouldn't work for anybody else that had those characteristics. So those 2 things made it really exciting when he called me.
Let me ask you, too, about what you've got in store. You talked about kind of what you've been doing as far as recruiting goes, as far as kind of whipping the guys you have here into shape and getting ready for the season, but still a lot of time. You've still got pretty much all of the summer session ahead of you, and then you get into the fall, and I bet the season kind of creeps up on you quicker than you would expect.
Right.
What do you have to accomplish in all of that time?
Well, this summer's a big, obviously a huge time for us, as I mentioned, both on the getting to know our current players, but also for recruiting. We've got next week, June 17th, is the start of the second summer session. So we've got 4 of our incoming freshmen that are going to be joining our guys that have already been here thus far. And so that's really important for us to really lay the groundwork, just relationally, but also from a basketball standpoint, getting those guys to understand what we're going to expect out of them as we get into the fall. So we got that, and then obviously the July period is a heavy month for travel for us as we go out and watch AAU games and evaluate players that we're trying to recruit. So, so we got a lot, but it's been really good so far. I think we're really headed in the right direction on both fronts, and just got to keep grinding here for the next few weeks.
Jason, best of luck and welcome.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Men's basketball assistant Jason Grunkemeyer will have interviews with all of the new assistants, both men's and women's, here on Ball State All Access and BallStateSports.com over the course of the summer as we get prepared for the 2013-2014 men's and women's basketball seasons.